Hello guys, welcome back again to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create this amazing sign in and sign up form using only HTML and CSS. So we will not be using any JavaScript, just HTML and CSS, and it's just a front end sign in and sign up form. So we don't have a back end, we didn't create any database. Before I start this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos. So let's start the video. So as you can see here, I have created one folder called sign up, and I have created two files, one for HTML and one for CSS. As you can see, my HTML file, I already connected my HTML with the CSS file. As you can see this, so will use the link rel style sheet href then style.css, and this is our CSS external CSS, and we already connected our external CSS to index file. So, and my title is sign up. So let's start with the body first. So we'll create one div with a class. We'll create a class called login wrap. Next, we'll create another div with a class login HTML. From here, I just want to include some input. I'll give an ID called, maybe you can say tab1. Next, we'll also include type. The type I will say radio, because I want to include sign in and sign up. So let's say radio. Next, we'll also include name. It's going to be tab, and also we'll include check a class, yes, called sign in. Next, we'll include checked. Inside this input, we'll include label with a class. No, we'll not give a class. We'll give a class called tab. Now for this four, I want to just say tab1. It should be okay. Just copy this. Create a second one. From here, I'll change this to 2. The type is going to be radio. The name is going to be tab still. I'm not going to change. And this one, I will change it to sign up. Next, we'll just leave it checked. Okay, let's just remove this checked. I don't. For the label, I'm going to change this to 2. And the class is still going to be tab. And here we'll give sign up. And also up here I will say sign in. So next, what I'm going to do is create another div class. We'll create another div with a class called login form. Let's create another one too, and this one will be sign in HTML. This sign in. Inside this div, we'll create another div with a class called group. Now from here, we'll just include some label and one input. So 4 is going to be for users. Then we'll include a class. Maybe you can say label, and I'll just say username. Let's include input. The type is going to be text, not going to change, and I'm going to give an ID user. So next we'll include a class also, input. So save this and refresh your web page. So as you can see, we have this sign in checked, and this the second sign up we said we don't want to say checked. So we have this username with this and button radio, but it's not yet styled. So let's just go back to our VS Code. Now we'll create another div class with a class called group. Inside this div, let's include label also. For I'll say password, and we'll include a class called label. So here we'll say password. Next, input. We'll include input. The type is going to be password, not text. We'll also include an ID, pass, and also a class. Class going to be input, and we'll add a data type, and the data type is going to be password. So save this, refresh your web page. Now we have this username and password. So next, what I want to do is create another div with a class group still. Inside this div, we'll include input. The type is going to be checkbox. Now we are going to create our checkboxes. Checkbox. Also going to include an ID, check, and a class check. And I'm going to say checked. So next we'll say label. 4 is going to be check. So here we'll include a span tag. So let's say span. This span, I wanted to give it a class called I'll give it a class called icon, and we'll give a value sorry, should be value. The value is going to be, okay, let's not give value right now, let's just remove this, and this one will say keep me signed in. It's like remember me whenever you sign in a particular website. So save this, refresh your web page. Now we have this keep me signed in, or we can say remember me. So next I'm going to create another div with a class group. Inside here I'm only going to include input. The text is going to be a submit button. Then we'll give it a class called button also, and the value is going to be sign in. So just come here, down here, and we'll include another div with the class HR. Create another one for link, foot link, and we'll create another div class with a class foot link. Here I want to include a link using the href, and we'll say forget password, or forgot password, sorry. So this, whenever you think you are, yeah, and you know your email but you forgot your password, in case you can just tap this button and it will take you a verification place. But here we are not going to do that one because we're not going to create in the back end, we just our front end. So forget, and here I'll say forgot password. So save this, refresh your web page. Now you have this sign in and forgot password. Next we'll create another div with a class called SignUp HTML. We'll also create another div class with a class called group label. 4 is going to be users. Now we're creating our sign up form, and we'll give it a class called label, going to be username. Next we're going to include input. The type is going to be text. We'll give a name. No, actually we don't need to give a name. Let's just remove this one, we don't need it. We'll give an ID, maybe user, and also we'll give a class input. Okay, so next we'll create another div with a class group. So for this div, the group, we are just using one class so that it's easier to style. I'll give it a label. 4 is going to be pass. and we'll give it a class called label. You can say password. Next, we'll include input. The type is still going to be password, no text. We don't need name. So the ID is going to be pass. Also, we'll include a class input. And also, I'll include a data type. The data type is going to be password. Just scroll up. So next, we'll create another div, the class group. Here still we're going to just copy this so we don't waste time. For this one, we're going to say we're going to change for pass class, which is going to be still label, and here we'll change to email address. Now for the input, the ID is going to be pass, and the type is going to be text. Next, the class is also going to be input, and we don't need this data type. We just remove it. So next, we'll create another div, still with a class called group. I'll just copy the same way. So for here, I want to include a submit only, so we don't need label. So the input type is going to be a text, and we'll have an ID called pass, or actually we don't need an ID. I'll just remove it, and we'll give a class called button. We don't need data type, and instead we'll give value. Value is going to be sign up. So next, what I want to include is another div with a class HR, and we'll include another div with a class. From here, I will add label that says for tab 1, and we'll say already a user. So if this way, if you have a username and a password, you can directly log in. You don't need to register. What I mean is, if you have an account, you can just log in. You don't need to register. So you can say already member. Save this, reload your web page. Now you can see we have our username, password, email, sign up form, and we have this already member. So next, what I'm going to add is, so we don't need to add much, and that's just all we can do for the sign up form. So now it's time to style our HTML file. So go to the style sheet. So make sure you included your external CSS to the HTML. Okay. Now we are going to add some styling. So the basic, we are going to start by the basic. So let's just say body and open curly braces, and inside this body I want to include a margin 0. Sorry, it should be 0. Then we'll also include a color for our background color. The color is going to be gray 6. Next we'll say add a background. Just use this one. Next we'll add some font, and we'll say 600 160 pixel and 18 pixel. Then we are going to say open sans, and we'll say sans serif. So we don't need to add much in the body, so let's just save this and go back to your web page. Load. Now our texts are now messed up, but we have this background color, as you can see it's gray. So I have some styling here, so what I'm going to do is just copy this and I'm going to explain them. I just copy all. So let me just explain. So as you can see here, we have the after and before. So I added some box sizing, and I say border box. We added some clear fix for after only and also before, and the content display table. So I also added a color, login inherit, color inherit, and text decoration none. So I didn't want to add any text decoration, so that's why I said none. So next we copied the class where we had login trap, the first one, this one, and we said I want to add some width, margin, max width, and min height. Also the position is relative. So, and I also added this background image for this sign up form. So as you can see, this image I have, this image, it's loading. So I have this image that I used. So, and I don't want no repeat, and I want it to be at the center. So I added some box shadow with RGB color. And next what I did was to style my login HTML class, and I added some width, height, position absolute, and I also added a background color to be blue. So you notice that my image is blue, kind of mostly blue, and that's why it going to match with the text. So next what I did was this sign in and sign up HTML, and I added some top left from bottom position. I said absolute, and I also added this transform rotate Y 180 degrees. The backface visibility is hidden, so we don't see our image. So next was the login HTML for the sign in and sign up, and also the check box which I say display none. Also we have this login tab The font size is 22 pixel, margin right 15 pixel, but padding bottom 15 pixel, and also say display inline block. So next we went to do is the login form, and the login form I added some perspective to 1000 pixel, and I also added transform style, which is preserve 3D. Also added this login for the label input and the buttons. Also the color is going to be white. Whenever someone tries to hover it, it's going to change the color, so I choose white. So next we added some for the data type, which we said it's password. We added some text security circle, and we added some WebKit text security circle still. So that's all for today. So if I save this and go back to my browser, reload it, now as you can see we'll have this amazing text, but let's see where this is coming from. So I don't know where the problem is, but let's find the problem. Me signed in will just over and out. So I don't know where the problem is. I don't know, my text appearing large. So let's just move this one. I don't save it. So you notice that we have this HR. This is where we say they keep me signed in and also already a member. So add it to 0.3. Now go back, reload, and now you see it's okay. The problem is solved. As you can see here, our now sign in and sign up form is working. Amazing. So if let's try to fill this, let's say it's not going to click because we don't have a backend, and that's why we're not using PHP or MySQL. It's just a plain HTML and CSS. So this is what I was talking about. So I said my box color is going to be blue, is going to match with the image. So we have this forgot password. We go to sign up, we have this already a member, which is going to take you to the sign in page. So that's all for today. So I just want to say subscribe to my channel for more videos, as I'm going to be uploading once in a week. So I'll just leave the source codes in the link description so that you can also get and try out your free times. So till next time, bye.